Okay, picture this. It's 9 p.m. on a freezing Saturday night in January. You hear a strange clank. The vents go quiet, and suddenly, that awful sinking feeling hits your stomach. Your furnace is completely dead. We've all been there, right? Or at the very least, we all absolutely dread being there. Well, welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to transform that panic into power. We're unpacking the Homeowner's Survival Guide to HVAC and Fishers. We're going to map out exactly how to protect your home, save your wallet, and give you the crucial knowledge you need to survive literally whatever the elements throw at you.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today's Explainer. We'll start with the Fishers Climate Challenge, then look at common system warning signs, outline some rules for HVAC survival, tackle the repair versus replace dilemma, and finally, discuss the professional standard.
All right, Part 1, the Fishers Climate Challenge.
Every great survival guide needs a villain, right? And for your HVAC system, it's our unique local environment. I mean, summer humidity around here regularly tops 80%. That forces your AC to work major overtime, pulling moisture from the air before it can even begin to actually cool your house. Then in winter, temperatures dropping below 20 degrees demand grueling, non-stop operation from your furnace. And to make matters worse, the massive housing boom we saw in Fishers during the 90s and 2000s means entire subdivisions are basically hitting their system's end of life right now, all at the exact same time.
But you know, it's actually not just the weather above us. There's a hidden danger right under our feet. The clay-heavy soil around Hamilton County causes foundations to shift. This is a very hyperlocal reality for places like Geist, Saxony, and Britton Falls. And as your house settles, this shifting can literally pull your ductwork apart at the joints. So you end up pumping perfectly heated or cooled air straight into your crawl space or attic, wasting energy and completely destroying your indoor comfort. No one wants that.
Moving on to Part 2, common system warning signs. Let's talk about listening to your home.
So, how do you catch these threats early, before your whole system fails? Well, one of the biggest red flags is something called short cycling. This is when your furnace or AC turns on and off way too frequently, failing to complete a full heating or cooling cycle. It's kind of like driving a car in stop-and-go traffic all day long. It absolutely shreds your equipment's lifespan. And the culprits? They're often incredibly simple things. We're talking dirty air filters, a failed limit switch, or even just a drafty thermostat near a window giving your system false readings.
Now here's another symptom that drives homeowners absolutely crazy. Are your upstairs rooms overheating in the summer? You are definitely not alone. It's a classic issue in the two-story homes that dominate the newer Fisher subdivisions. Because, well, heat naturally rises, right? Plus, your basement ductwork might be leaking cooled air through those shifted joints we just talked about. So you end up with massive temperature imbalances. Your downstairs feels like a literal icebox, while you're upstairs sweating in your bedroom. We have all been there.
Which brings us to Part 3, Rules for HVAC Survival. Let's protect that equipment.
Now, what's really interesting about this next part is how simple it is. Once you know the symptoms, you need a plan of action. We call these mental shortcuts for survival, and we'll start with the 3-minute rule. Listen to this. After your AC shuts off, or if you lose power and it suddenly flickers back on, you absolutely must wait at least 3 minutes before restarting the system. Why? Because you have to let the refrigerant pressure equalize between the high and low sides of the unit. Forcing it to start too soon strains the compressor against massive internal pressure. It's a simple mistake that can blow the compressor and cost you thousands of dollars. Just wait the 3 minutes.
Next up is the 2-foot rule. Go take a walk outside to your condenser unit. You need to maintain a strict 2 feet of clearance all the way around it. Fast-growing Indiana weeds, tall grass, patio furniture, leftover yard debris, all of that chokes the airflow. If that unit can't breathe, it can't dissipate heat. That forces the whole system to work harder, drives up your energy bills, and causes the unit to overheat and fail right in the middle of a miserable, humid afternoon.
All right, Part 4, the repair versus replace dilemma.
Look, let's be real here. Even if you follow all the rules, equipment eventually breaks down, forcing that incredibly stressful repair versus replace dilemma. To take the emotion out of this financial reality, I want you to use the $5,000 rule. It's a brilliant, simple formula. If your system is over 10 years old, take the age of the unit and multiply it by the estimated repair cost. If that number exceeds $5,000, replace it. So for example, say you have a 12-year-old unit with a $500 repair bill. 12 times 500 is $6,000. Boom. You're way better off putting that money toward a brand new, reliable system rather than slapping a Band-Aid on a dying machine.
Let's weigh this out neutrally for a second. Repairing obviously means lower upfront costs, but you're just patching older tech. Critically, older systems often use R22 refrigerant, which has been phased out by the EPA. As supplies dry up, R22 costs are climbing rapidly, making any future repairs incredibly expensive. Replacing, on the other hand, gives you a new 15 to 20-year lifespan, bumps your efficiency up to a modern SEER 14 or higher rating, and, maybe most importantly, gives you the absolute peace of mind of a full warranty against those brutal weather swings.
Let's get to some extreme financial transparency. Basic repairs, like swapping out a bad thermostat, run about $150 to $300. Major parts, like a blown compressor, jump up to the $1,200 to $2,500 range. But a full system replacement? That typically lands between $5,000 and $12,000. To put that into perspective, a typical 1,200 square foot house in this area usually requires a 2 to 2.5 ton system, placing the replacement cost right in the $4,500 to $7,500 range, depending heavily on your home's insulation and the condition of your ductwork. Having these exact numbers in your back pocket ensures you won't be blindsided when a technician hands you an estimate.
Let's move to our final section and see how this all builds together: the professional standard.
Because an HVAC system is such a massive financial investment, professional expertise is quite literally the only way to protect it. Have you ever had a contractor just look at your home's square footage and blindly guess what size AC you need? That is a huge red flag. A true professional uses the industry-standard protocol called the Manual J load calculation. They use this to determine the exact heating and cooling capacity your specific home requires. They actually have to account for the number of windows, the quality of your insulation, and even which direction your house faces. Skipping this guarantees you get a system that either short cycles endlessly or runs non-stop without ever actually cooling the house.
A real professional also adheres to strict industry standards. First, they secure the required Hamilton County permits. This is vital because skipping unpermitted work can completely void your warranties and become a major legal liability if you ever try to sell your home. Second, they hold EPA Section 608 certification for legally handling refrigerants. Third, they use ACCA Manual D standards for designing your ductwork. And finally, they ensure all new equipment actually meets the minimum SEER 14 efficiency standards.
So, knowing all this, what exactly happens when you actually make that call to a professional? Let's totally eliminate the mystery of a service call.
Here's how this three-step process protects you. Step 1 is rapid response and diagnosis, finding the true cause of the problem and giving you a written estimate. Step 2 is expert execution, repairing or installing following all those rigorous standards we just talked about. But the crucial point is Step 3, verification. A true professional doesn't just turn the unit on and drive away. The job is not done until the temperatures, the airflow, and the efficiency are physically verified to be working perfectly.
All right. I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. When the next brutal winter freeze or summer heat wave hits Hamilton County, is your HVAC system going to survive? Or is it already quietly failing? Don't wait for a freezing Saturday night panic. Take control of your home's comfort today. Go check those air filters, clear the brush around your outdoor unit, and start listening to what your house is telling you. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, stay comfortable out there.